Alrighty, PG-13. This is part 2 of the accessories video. Now, there was some accessories that the handle was way oversized and it won't fit in the figure's hands. And the weapons that I don't recommend you put in the figure's hands is icebergs, way too oversized. Lowlights, oversized. Monkey wrenches, way too oversized. Televipers, oversized, but you can use the hose, so way too oversized. The Baroness is one. If you turn the weapon, it'll snap it off. So I don't recommend you use the Baroness's one for the accessory packs, as well as ripcords. And yes, in the last video I called Ace airborne. Sometimes I just do that. I don't know why I do that, I just do that. So this is Airborne's helmet, but it might fit on Ace's head. So that's Airborne's helmet, Airborne's backpack, Airborne's rifle. And just check out my other video to see what I'm saying, because you know what I'm saying. Now Hasbro did get it right for Wayne. That weapon fits in his hand. But Hasbro got it wrong for Scarlet. That does not. However, if you're lucky enough to get some from China, they will have the handle on it. So if you come across any of those weapon packs, now there was other stuff that I did get from China before, other colors of weapons, and just to give you an example, I've got the Baronesses, a couple commanders, and yes, Major Bloods. And they did come in different colors, so be aware of that. As well as these, swords. Don't use these swords. Handles are way too thick for the figures. And same with these, like, who designs this? You don't do a figure hand test. You never put a clip behind the trigger, because it's gonna be super awkward for the figure, and the weapon's kind of oversized. It doesn't really. Speaking of oversized, like this is just ridiculous. This looks like it's for a 6-inch figure. And like those weapons packs that Hasbro gave you, don't throw them out, because guess what I discovered here? You heard it here first, folks. In the Navy figure, I was doing a weapons hands test, and look at that. Just fits in nicely. So don't discard those oversized weapons you got from Hasbro, as well as from your old accessory packs, because look at this. They fit in the hands of in the Navy figures perfectly. So you can use these for in the Navy figures, and probably Operation Recall from Carlson, as well as Call Sign Longbow. And another thing is, like, these weapons will fit. Well, yeah, that one does. So this hand. So these in the Navy figures are fantastic, and if Hasbro was smart, they'd copy that design of the sole wrist. Like, look at this, low life's rifle fits in this hand perfect. So, like, wow. That's fantastic. So your SWAT officer can have a nice scope. Now, like, even in the past, there is certain weapons, like that came with Iron Grenadiers. This machine gun, you can't put it in the figure's hand, and even this figure, because of the handle. So again, this is still way too oversized. So Hasbro has to do like a hand figure test. Otherwise, this is a fantastic looking Uzi. But again, just to show you, look at that, it fits in there with ease. So it's not too bad. This one, yeah, it does fit in. So you can take some of the oversized weapons and put them in the Navy figures, so don't discard them. They will fit in the Navy figures. And yes, the SWAT officer does look like Snake Eyes. It's fantastic looking. His head does swivel, and it also has the, I agree, Now I don't have the is it 1988 or 1989 Cobra Night Viper, so anyone wants to donate me one, that would be fantastic. But I do love a lot of these weapons and weapon packs. Like the Viper rifle, I use them on all my Vipers if I can't find an original. And I just love those weapons. Those are friggin' awesome. Like, just to give you an idea. Oh yes. Remember, we're talking about the oversized weapons, and the undersized is nicer. So these are like A-Team or made from Galoob. Action Force might have them too. But you know, we're just gonna go through like Hit and Run's knife. That was oversized. Don't put it in his hand. You know, we've got tons of weapons you could go through. You can shave the handles of this one, but again, it's made too thick. So just be aware of that stuff. Make sure you don't ruin your figure's hands, because I mean, these weapons might look fantastic, but the weapons handles are oversized. And I mean, we could go through all of this. Like, there's just tons of different weapons. This is just, I have tons of extras, but this, like, what is this crap? Way too big. So, but when you go to check out the Vipers, like, I love these weapons. These weapons fit in their hands nicely. Look at that. And the gray, I don't mind at all, because it just fits in there. We got one Viper down. Same with these, the Shadow Crimson Guards. You know, you can use the blue rifle in their hand. But there's just so many different kinds of weapons you could put in the figure's hands. Cobra Saboteur's weapon is awesome for the Sub Viper. Oh yeah. And I told you in the last video, there's so many different kinds. I do love this rifle, but you have to be careful because some of them are thick handled, but this one isn't. So if you can find those kind of weapons for your figure's hands, they're fantastic. And you know, like, I'd like to see Hasbro come out with a, you know, a battle gear weapons accessories again with Budo's sword, because like, look, that fits in the hand perfectly. Do not, oh yes, as well as like Jinx's weapons, but make sure they're a little bit stronger plastic, like Kick Quick's sword, whereas Kick Quick, we got a few there. This one here, you know, make sure the plastic is like nice, not too flimsy. And there's a lot. I would love to see a weapons tree ninja pack, as well as whose weapon is fantastic. Oh yes, Shockwave. I love that weapon. That weapon's fantastic. As well as just seeing like the M16, the small version. They did remake it, but they made the handle too thick. But this is the vintage one. So those are fantastic to use. Same with the Uzis. Like, you know, I'd like to see some new Battle Gear accessory weapons packs, Hasbro. And you could include some new vintage weapons. But make sure you do a hand figure test first. Make sure you have thinner handles and not flimsy weapons. And people will buy it like hotcakes. All vintage collectors would. And you could design a few different weapons trees. We're gonna probably need to do another video to show you what we want in a weapons tree pack. I mean, people would just go gangbusters over it. Same with like certain accessories that you can't find. Hard to find accessories. If you remade some of them to fit on the old vintage figures, oh my god, Hasbro, your sales would be through the roof. I love weapons like this. Like that is just a fantastic looking Uzi. So we might have to do a part 3 on accessories and put the accessories that we'd like to see in weapons packs, and even some of the other ones to bring back. And if Hasbro's gonna do that, then you're gonna have to do a weapons figures test and make sure that they're small enough to fit in the hands, of the figures, so you don't end up with crap that you just can't use. But in the Navy figures, you could probably use them on, so it's not a total loss here. Fantastic figures, and you know, like, we've put some of the weapons in their hands, and yes, Hasbro did get it right for Wayne, but for Cobra Commander's weapons, I mean, they're like way too oversized. Like, he can't even fit this in his hand. So we wanted to discuss the positives of what Hasbro can do, and you know, this one's oversized, but it'll fit in his hand. Look at that, fantastic. So you don't have to discard your weapons if you buy some in the Navy figures, and they are coming in 2024. Same with Operation Recall, and hopefully Call Sign Longbow gets their act together and gets their stuff made, because those are awesome looking figures we're all looking forward to. And I hope Hasbro remakes some new figures as well as bring back some old figures, because that's what we want to see. So you heard it here first. What you can do with some of your oversized weapons, and some of the other ones you just can't use. So, I mean, there are some cool weapons. I have not tested this one on my figure, but look at that, oversized, and it fits in his hand nicely. That's a cool weapon. But again, remember what I'm talking about. You gotta do your hand figure test. If it doesn't fit in with these, don't force it. Like these, I love these. Cobra Saboteur weapons fit in any figure's hand. Just fantastic. So I'm kind of happy today because I figured that out. And again, there was a lot of problems with Hasbro's quality control, where the Scarlet's weapon didn't even have a handle. But if you're lucky to find some of those weapons from China, then you might come across one of those, and you might luck out, because China did remake some of the weapons. In some of the weapons lot, it was like 100 weapons or 200 weapons, and then you might be getting like 10 or 20 that might fit for the 3 3/4 size. The rest fit the 4-inch. I mean, I've got a box full of that crap. I should just donate it to Chad. It's Chad. Oh, I got a whole bunch of weapons for you, Chad. If you send me a mailbox to mail it to, I'll send you a whole bunch of weapons for your figures, for your modern figures. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we're going to discuss what else we'd like to see from Hasbro in the next video. But we might talk about accessories a little bit more, just so people are aware of what they should do and what they shouldn't do. But always do a hand weapons test, so you don't wreck your figure's finger, and you never force it, and you never twist it, because you don't want to snap it off, unless you know, like even like the Cobra Commanders, I tried doing different stuff like squishing it just to make it thinner, but again, these are just extra crap. So certain weapons do not fit in the hands nicely. Do not force them, do not put them in, and that's why you have accessories to buy. Tons and tons of accessories to get. That's all the time we have for now, folks. Until next time, Cobra!